watching the markets this morning?
Oh yeah, yeah. So I don't know what we have a Fed meeting I think tomorrow, right?
It's quite docket today though, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. We have a very busy week this week. It's going to be interesting.
Hello and welcome to the live stream of the Unity Excel trading model. We're going to be taking some live trades. We're going to be using Excel. We're going to be talking algorithmic trading strategies. We're going to be talking about AI, ChatGPT in particular, and we're going to be talking about a slight variation on the trading strategy that we introduced and we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. We're looking at the Euro US dollar to start with. With me this morning is Ren Vallo. How are you, Ren, today?
Good morning, Mark. Good morning. It's things are good. Yep, it's another cold day in Colorado, but it's good.
Yeah. Just say, is it snowing?
Not today. No, today's a sunny
Uh,
day, but it's in the negative numbers again, and our
wow.
highs of the day have been like minus 30, so it's been pretty cold where I'm at.
Wow,
Very chilly.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm done with this winter.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
can move on to spring as far as I'm concerned.
If we could just get above the freezing mark, it'll feel like summertime.
Really, yeah. So, yeah, we've been looking at the financial markets this morning. We've got a new trading strategy. I'm just going to log on to our Zoom call so you can have a look at what I'm looking at. The markets are looking a bit jollier. They were sold off earlier today.
Yeah,
Did
and
you
then
see that
yesterday,
overnight for you? I guess it was yeah, it was looking a bit ropey, but they've recovered. It's a bit of buoyancy in the air.
yeah, a little bit of reversal there. I think we had a bad, rough ride yesterday, and then last night there was some follow through, and then there's a reversal. So
Yeah,
I
yesterday
guess,
was a bit of a sell-off, wasn't it?
yeah, it's a big January for the markets, for the indexes, and all the all the stocks are doing really well. So I think equities have really, got an uptrend going for the month of January. We'll have to see if that
Yeah.
can continue.
Last day of the month. It's another one of these patterns. Last day of the month is
Hmm.
usually or more often than not, it tends to be negative.
It does. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I wonder if there's any correlation between the how the month did overall and then the last day. Like, is it like more of a trend continuation, or is it just generally negative?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's so context dependent. All these patterns are so context dependent. Yeah, what I've looked at is I've looked at it all sorts of different ways, and I always used to count forward from the start of the month. I can't remember if I've
Yeah,
told you this,
yeah,
because the start of the month is obviously that's a key day, and then you count forward in trading days. But then I realised that I was missing out the vital piece of information of counting backwards. So it's actually better, I think, to count forward for the start of the month, going into the middle of the month to look at those patterns. But if you're looking
yeah.
at patterns at the end of the month, you want to count backwards. So that's how I came across this idea, because I couldn't work out the end of the month. Counting forward, starting from the first, is a strong period using looking
Yeah.
at the seasonal patterns. But if you're doing it the other way, it highlights this issue that the last day of the month is a weaker day. It's a weaker than average day.
Interesting. Well, that's really good information. Yeah, I've never looked that closely at the last day of the month, but that is really interesting. So it might
Yeah,
be actually, if you do get that pullback, maybe it's a good opportunity to buy if you're in an uptrend
yeah,
because you get that little discount.
exactly. Yeah, it could be a buying opportunity. Yes, and like you say, is how dependent is it on what's happened on the rest of the month? Hugely dependent. But it's how to put all the pieces of the puzzle together.
Yeah. Yeah, I was
Um,
surprised to see today was positive just because of the news flow. And there's a lot of Fed speaking and speculation about what they're going to do with interest rates. So all that stuff, I was surprised to see this month be so good. I was,
mm.
yeah, the Bulls
And
really
is it
took the,
earnings going on? I haven't really been paying close attention, but I
yeah,
know they're starting to come out.
yep, their earnings are coming out. So yeah, things have been really positive. So yeah,
Yeah, it's interesting. So anyway, we're not here to just chat about the markets. We're here to take trades, and you can see I'm going to
yeah,
show you this new strategy or this new setup that I have got is active right now, and I'm going to zoom in first of all Um, Here we go to the MetaTrader 5 terminal. Now the Unity Excel trading model uses MT5 to connect to the market. And you can see here we're in a buy trade and we're getting these nice little, you can see my cursor here, these nice little trades is what seems to be the hallmark of this trading strategy. We're
Yeah.
just using a 5 period look back. So it looks like we're more or less going from to buy and reverse sell, sell, reverse buy. So we're in an uptrend at we're in a buy trade at the moment. You can see we've got this little tick upwards.
Yeah, it looks good, Mark. It looks like it's taken some good trades recently.
Yeah, it's taken some
And
good trades just prior to the market open here. We usually time these, we time our chats because Tuesday is another seasonal day, turnaround Tuesday. If we've had a bit of a
yep,
sell off, we can usually bank on a bit of support for Tuesday. And so that is what we're getting so far. If we look at
yeah. So
stocks, we
maybe
look at the terminal. Let's have a look at what's got moving
so you
today.
got turnaround Tuesday overacting. It's overtaking the end of the month negativity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there is always conflicting patterns. It's what we need to look out for is a situation where they're all in alignment and go with that. So right at the top, we've got risk on. We have Ether, we have Bitcoin back up to 23,000. Um, let's reorder these. Yeah, we've got coffee. That's going
Yum.
higher. Oh dear.
Heck yeah.
We've
That one's fire.
people like us that like to drink a lot of coffee. Um, Amazon, Netflix, and Alphabet are all up there in positive territory in the pre-open.
hmm Looking good. Yeah.
Yeah, got the Nasdaq, which has stabilized. Let's just quickly flick on to the Nasdaq so we can see what's going on here. Now we use MT5 to get our prices and take our trades, but we're not dependent on the terminal itself to for anything else. So we're just looking here. We can flick around to the different markets. Got the Nasdaq here. We've got the big sell-off. If I scroll out, and then got the recovery that started sometime mid-morning, mid to late morning, where I am. UTC here in the UK, and we're up. Yeah, good few points since then. Nearly a percentage point, nearly a full percentage since then.
Yeah. So do you know what the news was last night, overnight?
No, there's a few bits of inflation. It just possibly just seems one of those things. I really
Mhm.
don't know if there was anything significant.
Yeah, because that's a pretty significant reversal from
Yeah,
what we saw yesterday.
yeah. Let's
Turnaround
just
Tuesday is really kicking in.
it's kicking in, isn't it? So yeah, we had this big sell-off back onto the 5 minute chart
Yeah.
here. This big sell-off, da da da, and then we've had a bit of a bounce back. So okay, so we're trading on Euro US dollar. We are in a trade. We're in a sell trade at the moment. It's just gone slightly negative this particular trade, and let's see how that one performs. So let's have a little zoom into the. Okay, so this is the Excel model showing, this is the Unity Excel trading model, connected straight up to the MT5 API, so you get fast execution. Everything is done through Excel, so you can control your whole strategy through the spreadsheet. And we're showing a mean reversion strategy. Ren, you've been doing a lot of testing on this. Anything
Yeah.
new to report this week?
It's very consistently hovering in the mid 60s for the win rate, which is pretty decent for a strategy like this. And the profit and loss is, matches up pretty nicely. So like my average win and my average loss come in very close to each other.
Mm,
And my largest loss and my largest win are also very close. So it is profitable over the period of time I've been running it. Now I've been running it 24/7 for over 2 weeks now,
mm.
and minus the weekends, and it's been profitable each week. So yeah, so far so good. Now I was just wanting to experiment a little bit with a 30-minute time frame using the same exact settings just to see how it is. and I just downloaded 100,000 rows of data. So we'll see. I haven't really been able to chug through that yet,
Yes.
but I want to start, do a little back test and see what it looks like on the longer term timeframes with that much data. And maybe if it's because what I usually notice is when we extend our time frames, we have a larger profit potential. So it's like, if it's worth it, is it worth it to let that trade go a little slower, run it at a slower time frame? So that's what I'm
Yeah.
looking at right now.
Yeah, great. The thing about Unity is you can download a big chunk of data, 100,000 rows and 30-minute data, and you can just let it go into the spreadsheet, and then you can take each chunk of data. You can do walk forward, you can test 10% of the data or whatever percentage you like, look at the next 10 percentage, and so it performs better doing it that way, doesn't it? Because data in the spreadsheet is not a problem, it's formulas that make it run slowly.
Exactly. Yeah. So
And
yep, that's
we're
what I'm.
not talking about trading here. We're talking about back testing, establishing the
Yep.
principle, and then you're obviously you're forward testing it and trading it live going
Yep.
forward.
So if I see some real reasons to move to the 30-minute time frame, because initially I did see some reasons why I might consider it much larger wins. My
Mm.
average win was way higher. It was like 10 times as high. So I was like, it might be worth it. Well, I just have to like run through all the back tests first, and then maybe next week when we're talking, I'll be telling you that I switched to the 30-minute time frame.
Yeah, well, we want to hear the news for this because
Yeah.
30-minute time frame, like you say, is going to give you bigger potential trades, so you're not going to have to worry so much about the cost of trading. And interesting. Can't wait to hear the results of that. But good that you're still staying on around that 60. Did you say around 60 to 70%?
Mid 60s, yeah. So with that, like now over the week last week, I did know that we had a little bit of a period in the middle of the week where it started running a pretty low win rate, close to 50%, but then it picked back up again. So
Mm.
and initially on the longer term time frame, the 30-minute, it came in the mid 60s on my first just real quick cursory back test. So I'm like, it probably, this strategy really does have a win rate in the 60s, and it
Mm.
really comes down to profit targets and stop losses at that point, to
Yeah.
manage those to make the profits.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Yeah, devil's in the detail all the time, but
yeah,
yeah,
yep,
that's really good. I'll tell you what I've done with this strategy. So we've got the same base model that you and I have been talking about, and
yep,
I'm just going to move this over here. Same base
yeah,
model that we've been talking about, and the what I've done is I've sped it up. So I'm looking at the 1 minute time frame. We do that because we want to get trades. We want to show people looking at this either live or on catch up, operating in the 1 minute time frame. So we're getting hopefully plenty of trades, and we've already seen those trades. So what I've done is I've reduced this price channel support resistance. Now, for the people watching on video, feel free to stop us at any stage. So this is zoomed into the spreadsheet here. You can see I have got this price channel support and resistance line here. So that is a 5 bar high and low. Simple as that. Donchian channel, price channel, whatever you like to call them. We're using 5 periods. And all I'm doing is entering on a mean reversion to that level, and we're taking lots and lots of short trades. But one thing I have done is I've kept the RSI filter in place so
mm-hmm,
that if we become deeply oversold on I'm using a 40 period RSI, so we get lower than 40 on that, then we're not going to take any long trades, and vice versa. So it would be 60 above 60 for short trades. And also I have unchecked this box here. So we're not looking for a bounce above it. We're looking for a bounce below the price channel.
mm-hmm. Gotcha. So Mark, yeah, you're doing quite. You have a pretty high win rate for this one as well, and this is on the 1 minute. So this is really, it comes in line with what I was seeing as on the 5 minute and longer term time frames too. But these settings are slightly different.
These are slightly different. Yeah, I wanted to make sure we get some trades in
Mm-hmm.
the. Let's have a look what we're doing here. So we've had a
Very tight.
trade.
Oh,
We're going okay. So we had a, sell trade, and now we've got a buy trade. So we've missed the last two ones, it looks like, but we got a few trades before that. So let's see how the strategy performs. We're letting it do its thing, and we're seeing what direction gets established with the open of the stock market. We're going to get more liquidity coming to the markets.
yes, and I think our opening bell is not operational today. It just opened.
We've missed it, haven't we?
So,
Yeah, we're 2 minutes.
yeah.
2 minutes after the start of the stock market, so the last couple of bars are going to show this more liquidity in the markets. And let's have a quick look, because we can, back at the S&P. First move just to the upside. Let's see how that goes. NASDAQ.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, wow.
testing the intraday, the pre-hours highs there, which is good. Good to see. See how that goes. Today could be a free day. If whatever news or whatever buoyancy there's in the stocks continues, it could be a good day. Obviously, we've got stuff coming out soon, later in the week, far more news coming out, so that could change the picture. Let's see what happens
Hmm.
today.
Yeah, we've had a lot of strength in the euro recently. So like we're seeing it. It's going into a nice trending upward movement for the last month at least, which has been really surprising. Actually, I was surprised to see how much the dollar weakened to the euro over the last month.
Yeah, we can see more of that going back here. So on the 15-minute, 30-minute, hourly. And if you get the
Yeah,
4 hour, then we can start to see this trend, which has been in place since, I think it's October, hasn't it?
yeah, it's really since October. Wow,
Yeah, in
wow.
fact, even
Yeah, it looks.
end of September, it's been in place. So
Mhm.
we're chugging through the resistance at the moment. The trend is certainly still in place there. We may well get a deeper retracement, but it looks to me that the trend is still well in place. Very minor retracement. I think there was something going on last week now. It seems to ring a bell that we were seeing a bit of a sell-off.
Yep. Yeah, we did a little bit.
And last week when we did our live stream, but there we go. So we are trading the euro and doing it on the 1 minute time frame. So these daily trends aren't really too significant, are they? But there's no reason it has to be just on forex. MT5 historically and MT4 historically, forex platforms now offer all sorts of markets. I don't know if you want to talk a bit more about MT5. You've been using it for a while now in the context of this project, Ren.
Yeah, it's a really nice platform because it allows us to integrate and just get the data out that we want to get and send trade indications back to the broker through MT5 very simply. So when you see a trade indication with your Excel platform, you can send that right directly to MT5, which then takes care of it with your broker. So we don't have to worry about sending any credentials or anything like that. We just look at the data, make decisions, send the trade indications over, and it's all taken care of for us. It's a really nice platform for integrating and automation. And I think it was built, MT5 was specifically built for that automation, where MT4 has some automation built into it. And I think they just embraced that. And they've also embraced equities, stocks, and things with MT5, where the old MT4 platform was more, focused on just currencies. So I think they've really expanded with this, and it's not a new product. It's just people are so there's a lot of people on MT4 still, and so it's a very slow migration over to MT5. But it's a very good platform, one of the best I've used.
Yeah, and it's
So
working
it's
perfectly with our model, our product here,
yep,
the Unity Excel trading model. So very, very smooth, very fast. So, we've been really, really happy with it, haven't we? MT5. We're not
very.
affiliated with them in any way, but it's non-broker specific. You can get it all around the world.
Yeah, that's the other good thing too. It's not broker specific or regional. You can get it everywhere. Where some of the really nice trading platforms that are out there are only available in the U.S. or in Europe or Australia. So this is everywhere.
Ren, I've been speaking with somebody this week about getting prices directly from the CME. What can we do with our Unity trading model for prices, CME prices?
So CME prices are possible, and I have looked at. They do offer connections. You'd have to write an interface to do it. Like they have very specific rules on how you get that data. So it's just like everything else. Like we were working with Rhythmic in the past, and we had a specific interface written for Rhythmic. Yeah, that's just basically what would have to be done. Someone would have to write that interface to connect the CME data directly to your Excel platform.
Mm.
They do have some APIs over at the CME. I've looked at those. So, yeah, it is possible to do. Just need a programmer to set it up.
Yeah. So, what I know we haven't looked into this in any depth yet, but does it seem like a good system? What the CME are currently offering, from what you've seen so far, in terms of what we can get using broker data from the various brokers that offer MT5 compared to what the CME, presumably direct access to their, what you would assume their best prices.
Well, they do. They also offer some free data, which is nice. That's what got me interested in looking at the CME data. They offer some free stuff, but one of the things that unless you are a broker, you're going to need that in front of you. So you've got to write the interface to then get that data to your broker and those trade indications. So like now, if you are, well, you have a seat there at the CME and you can trade directly with them, that's a different story, but that's a different type of account. That's more, of a business account. But yeah, you would still need that broker connection.
Mm.
And again, why we're using MT5 and not using the CME because they connect up to the brokers for us and do all of that work. That's another whole type of interfacing.
Right, right, yeah. Thank you for that explanation there. Um, Stefan is just looking here in the chat. Stefan's here. Hi, Stefan.
Hey,
Good to have you
Stefan.
here. Glad to see you back at the live stream. Let us have any comments or any thoughts as we go along. We'll be glad to answer any questions or respond to any comments from Stefan or anybody else. Ren, we did a video. We actually recorded it on Friday and it went live
Yep.
yesterday, Monday, on the most fascinating topic du jour, which is AI and Chat GPT. Do you want to tell us a little bit more? For those of you who haven't seen our new video, there is a link. I posted the link in the description to this live stream, whether you're watching it live or on catch up. Video's live. Really, really enjoyed
Yep.
it. It was a nice story. What do you make of the whole thing?
So we had some fun with chat. We went in there and asked chat about machine learning. Explain it to us like I'm a baby. Just
Mm,
explain it to me. I have no idea what's happening. All the way to the point of, hey, can you create a machine learning model to trade the S&P 500?
mhm,
And we gave it a small data set to work with. And sure enough, it wrote some Python code to trade the markets. So if somebody wants a really inexpensive programmer to work for them, just go
mm.
to Chat GPT and say, hey, like write me a program to trade the stock market because it'll do it. It will attempt to do it. Now, we talked a little bit about that in our video. It's not exactly something you could use out of the box, but it was a lot of fun. And it was surprising. And it was also really surprising how it interacted with us when we tell it it made a mistake. Like, hey, what about this? And it'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Let me fix it.
Yeah, is it a bit shoot from the hip,
It
chats? Because
is.
he responds really quickly to some complex
It
questions
does.
that maybe it hasn't ever heard before. Does it
Yeah,
just
no,
get
it
stuff
is.
out there and then works out the detail later?
Yeah, and I wouldn't trust everything it says. It's coming up. It's making stuff up on the fly, like shooting from the hip.
Yeah, this is just like our politicians, all of the politicians, really, isn't it? Just making it
Yeah.
up as they go along.
Yep.
So Chat GPT is like a really, really intelligent baby or something like that.
Yes.
That maybe thinks it's a bit smarter than it is, but it is very smart. I mean, that's harsh. It
Yeah.
is very smart, clearly. So
Hmm.
anyway, you spoke to it and you wanted it to design a trading strategy. Videos out there. It's pretty cool, I think. We've got the details of it cheated. ChatGPT
Yes.
cheated.
It totally cheated.
Maybe it just didn't understand. It's
No,
hard
it
to
did.
it's hard to know. It's hard to know. But it responded as well. It responded and rectified the situation.
Yep.
Uh, if you'd go back, if you're going to go back again now, today, or tomorrow, would you ask it something different? Would you learn from the experience? Would you say, "Hey, chat, do you remember when we spoke a few months ago about this, and you came up with this? What about? Have you thought about any more?"
You thought about it.
I don't know.
No, I'm
What
tempted.
would you do? What would you say?
I'm really tempted, Mark. I want to go. I would love to go back. One thing's for sure, we're not going to be putting chat code into Unity.
No. Okay.
it, so, but it was really interesting, and I would like to do that. So, and in a very short amount of time, we should go back to chat and say, "Hey, have you worked out your trading strategy yet? Because we're still waiting for a better solution."
Yeah. Well, that's right. I mean, I think one thing that we you discussed was give it some technical indicators. Give it maybe more of a steer. So you tried to do it initially on a really broad question, and it
Yep.
gave it a good go. We suspect maybe that came from somewhere on the internet. At least the idea for it came, and then it brushed it
Yep.
off and presented it as the strategy. But maybe if you gave it slightly more of a steer, it might come up with something, or you introduce more constraints, maybe.
Yeah, well, this mean reversion strategy we're working on right now might be a great example. So maybe we've got it tuned up pretty nicely. Maybe we could pitch that to chat and see what it comes up with, and see if it can improve our strategy, make it more robust.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea, isn't it? So,
Hmm.
yeah, upload something and get chat to do the editing work almost.
Yeah, yeah.
Get it to
You
review
know what?
it.
We're just give it the spreadsheet and say, "Hey, have at it."
Mm, I like that. So that's going to be the next thing. We are going to come back to AI in trading because,
Yeah.
oh my God, this is not going to go away.
But
This
somebody's
thing
going
is
to have to sit
not going to
down.
go away. Not for
It's never going
however
away.
many fields, it's going to not
But
going to go
Mark,
away.
you're going to have to sit down with that spreadsheet when it spits it back to us and make sure he's not cheating again,
Yeah,
because
yeah. I'll have to look through the formulas with a fine tooth comb. Yeah.
right.
Wow. 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 Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. So fascinating topic for all sorts of reasons, but we've got to be aware as traders as to what the issues are going to be, because lots and lots of hedge funds and whoever else are going to be using machine learning and AI in their work, undoubtedly.
Yep. Yep. Everybody is looking at this, I'm sure. I mean,
The,
it's the most popular topic, right?
the one advantage that they have had for a long, long time, probably forever, these big guys, is speed of execution, and
Hmm.
that's how the high frequency traders do it, isn't it? They're just quicker than
Yeah.
everybody else, and
Yeah.
they can exploit far smaller inefficiencies than the rest of us can. So
Well, yeah.
what new opportunities will AI? No doubt for those sort of people, but what about for the rest of us?
Right. Yeah. I don't know how it's going to help us, but hopefully we can utilize it and help improve our strategies.
Mm,
And who knows what happens to market prices once AI is, fully embedded in it.
yeah.
Who knows?
Okay, very interesting. Right, we're going to
Hmm.
end the live stream today very soon. So if you have any final questions, pop them in the chat now, and we will be happy to respond to them. We've been taking trades on the euro, US dollar this morning. Looks like we're having a bit of a sell-off on the euro opening.
How's our
Um,
trade?
it's still in the red actually. It's going down. So let's see how that
Okay.
see if that responds. We're sticking to the rules though, and that's the whole thing about this algorithmic trading. Stick to the rules and let the strategy open and close our trades for us.
Yep. Sounds good, Mark. I can't wait to hear what happened next week.
Okay, so if you want to have more information about the Unity Excel trading model, there is a link below this video. You can get this both on catch up and on live. You can find out more information. We're offering a free trial, so there's no risk at all to try this out. You can get MT5 for free. You can try the spreadsheet for free. And if you have any questions or have any specific requirements, feel free to get in touch with us. So, Ren, thank you very much for being here again. And
Well, thank you, Mark.
talking about the new strategy, and I'll be seeing you next week.
Sounds good, Mark. I'm looking forward to it. Have a great
Okay.
trading week.
Okay. Thank you. And you. Bye bye.